everyone, welcome back. Today on my channel we're going to be making some donuts. These are cake donuts that you bake in the oven, and we're going to make a dozen of them, and they are called berry donuts. They're actually going to be a blueberry vanilla donut, and then I'm going to make a strawberry with freeze-dried strawberries for the icing. So it's going to be a berry donut, and hopefully it's very good. So I hope you stay tuned for that. If you're new, hit the subscribe and give me that thumb. All right, let's get into making our berry donut. The first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna get my pans ready. And we're just gonna spray them a little bit. This makes, like I said, 1 dozen. I think I told you that. These are just Wilton donut pans I got off of Amazon. I'll try to remember to link them. So it'll be in my description box along with the recipe. So the first thing we're going to add is our flour. Actually, the first thing we're going to do is put in the wet ingredients into the bowl. So I have 2 eggs. And then we're going to be adding a cup of milk, a tablespoon of vanilla. I love that. Tablespoon. I was like, I know I got it out somewhere. And maybe just a splash over. Let me get something. I like to keep that wiped off, or it becomes like glue and you can't hardly get the lid off. Okay, and then 1/4 cup of oil. We're just going to mix that together. Get my extra drip or 2 of that in there. And then we're going to add 2/3 cup of sugar. I've already got it measured out here. We're going to be doing some salt, and that is 1 teaspoon. And then we're going to be doing 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm going to whisk that together. Try to get that combined now. So let's get our flour, and that was 2 cups. I'm just going to use what I had my sugar in. And it says just fold in the flour. And I'm going to also be folding in some blueberries. I just have dried blueberries. I think those probably work the best for donuts. That's just my opinion. You can try fresh blueberries. Let me get this flour folded in. We're going to bake these in the oven on 350. I'm sure I told you that. About 8 to 9 minutes. And then we're going to make while they're baking, I'll make the icing that we're going to put on top. Okay, now we're going to add in our blueberries, and I'm just going to eyeball it. I don't really have a set amount, maybe I don't know, a third of a cup, maybe a 1/4 to a 1/3, I don't know, however many you like in there. I don't want full-on blueberry. I think that's good. I gotta save some for my oatmeal of a morning too. Okay, so we're gonna pour this into our prepared pans. And we're gonna try to fill them about 3/4 the way full. That's why I done this in this batter bowl. I'm gonna attempt to use this pouring spout. Hopefully it works pretty good. And I'll probably fast forward through this process for you. Okay, I think we've got them filled. I've got a little batter left, so we'll just take these out, and then maybe I'll get about 4 more out of them. I'm not sure. So let's get these in the oven. There they are. They just came out. I'm going to dump them and place them on my cooling rack. Okay, and there they are, dumped out. So we're going to let them cool, and while they're cooling, we're going to make our icing. Okay, I have a cup of powdered sugar in my bowl, and then to that we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla, maybe a touch extra, and then we're going to be adding in some tablespoons of water. And also, I'm going to use 1 package of the freeze-dried strawberries. This is 7.5 grams, about 1/4 ounce. So maybe I would say roughly, I'm going to pulverize them a little bit in the bag. I would say roughly 1/4 cup. I want them to be pretty small. That looks about good. Oh, well, no. There was 1 or 2 in there that stayed. See that piece right there? It's a slice of a strawberry, freeze-dried strawberry. So I'm just going to crush that up. I want them to be smaller pieces since it's going to be in an icing, a glaze, frosting, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and then we're going to add in some, I just have hot water. Oh, this is, I just put the rest of the batter in that little, it's still hot. I haven't dumped it, but it'll be all right. So we're going to do maybe like 3 tablespoons, 3 to 5 tablespoons, just however you want thin you want your glaze to be. You want it to be more like a frosting, add less. You want it to be more like a glaze, then, you know, you add more to make it a little watery. Ooh, I can really smell those strawberries. And I might dunk one of these and see what it's like. I might thicken that up a bit. I think I will. Let me grab some more powdered sugar. So I had already put 3 tablespoons of water in there, and you can add milk. You can put milk in yours instead of water. I think maybe that's about where I want it. Okay, so let's dip one and then taste one. We're always ready for the tasting, aren't we? Let's put this over here. Okay. I'm gonna bring this over. I just got, have some foil underneath. If you have foil or parchment paper or something, wax paper, just put it underneath so you can not make a mess on your counter. And then we're just going to take one, And what you want to do is where the line is, that's where like you filled it up into the pan. I just twist it down in there like that. And if I push it, if I just let it fall, I'll just use this to put it in the hole and bring it up. But then just bring it up like that and it'll dry on there like a glaze. And that's going to be very thin glaze. So I'm going to go ahead and let that one dry a minute. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to decide if I want to add a little more powdered sugar to make it just a touch thicker. Okay? Okay, I am back and I have decided that I'm just going to let it go like it was. I just let it sit there and I thought, you know what? It is kind of just like a glaze and that's okay. Because with the freeze-dried strawberries in there, I want it to be thinner than thicker because they're pretty chunky. So we're just going to continue on dipping, twisting like that, pulling it up, sitting it on. Simple, easy. This only takes about 15 minutes to prepare your mix. You've seen how fast it was preparing, getting them in the pans, and then like 8 to 9 minutes to bake them. And this icing glaze whips up very fast. So it takes no time to make a batch of donuts. You know, like maybe from start to finish, not counting your cleanup, maybe like 30 minutes. So I think that's pretty quick. I can't talk. Pretty thick, pretty quick for, you know, making something homemade. And I'm gonna double dip maybe a couple of them, and that's what you can do. After they sit a while, you can go back and double dip, and if they've sat there a little bit and you think, oh, that could use a little more. This one was kind of run off on the one side. I think that looks good. They look really pretty to me. So I'm going to wash and then we are going to taste one. Okay, I've just put them on my plate. Aren't those pretty? Oh, they turned out so pretty. And I know they're going to taste good. Okay, so this isn't, the glaze is still sticky and wet. And so it's going to be a minute before that dries. But here we go. That donut, very tender. You could taste the vanilla and the blueberry mixed with that strawberry glaze on top. I'm loving it. I'm loving my berry donut. It's the middle of the afternoon, but I'm really wanting a cup of coffee. But I definitely know what I'm going to be having for breakfast in the morning. So, try these. Tell me what you liked about them. Maybe what you did differently. Give me one of your good recipes sometimes. Drop me a comment. And until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Bye.